How is everybody doing? It's the Fading Fire.
Hey!
This will be the first build analysis of the channel, and this one is called the Crystal Thief. I thought it was a pretty appropriate name for the spells and the way my character is dressed and the way I go about things, how I use the spells and stuff like that. But this is basically an invisible mage. It's pretty fun. There go my items right there. You can switch anything up in regards to the fashion or whatever you need to switch up. But I think you do need that lingering dragon crest ring because you're gonna want these spells such as hidden body or hidden weapon to last longer than they usually do. So you do want to throw that ring on there. So we're not gonna have the magic clutch ring on. Even though I recently found out that the magic clutch ring is not worth it in PvP. If you're watching this video, I'm 100% sure that you've watched Scott Junn's video on common misconceptions in Dark Souls 3, or I think his YouTube channel is Damn No HTML. But he basically pointed out that the magic clutch ring is not worth the investment and the damage you take, and once I took it off I realized that it was not. But back to the build. This is basically invisible mage. I was kind of playing around with the different spells because I was kind of getting tired of using the same old thing, so I thought I'd switch it up. And I came to this one idea to use the hidden body spell. If you guys ever played Dark Souls 1, hidden body in the beginning used to be kind of cheesy because you couldn't lock on to somebody who was using hidden body. But in this game, it still works pretty well because you are extremely transparent. Like, you could kind of see the map through whoever is using hidden body. So you're not completely invisible and you can be locked onto, but you're transparent, and I like the fact that you're very hard to see. You'll also be pairing hidden body with hidden weapon, which is always a good mix-up for especially if you're using a faster weapon. And for some reason, people just want to parry invisible weapons. I don't know if they want to do it for the style points or just to make it look good, but people really want to parry these invisible weapons. As I was going through these series of fights that I had with this build, I ran into a lot of parry spammers, so I just backstabbed them to death. I think this guy is doing it. Yeah. Here you go, perfect example. So I'll just go ahead and backstab our parry spammer friend right there. It's actually really hard to do with the Cestus recovery frames and everything like that. The recovery timing on the thing is ridiculous. But so hidden weapon is really good to mix things up with, in regards to your attacks, and it throws a lot of people off on the recovery times of your of the attacks that you're doing at the time, because they're used to seeing the animation and not used to predicting when you're back from R2 or just R1 from a katana. So if you do R2, they really can't tell from the same animation or when you're going to recover, so they'll go ahead and try to attack you and you can get a free parry off of that. So you'll see me getting a lot of parries in this series of fights because people tend to be predictable with the attacks they do, since my weapons are hidden and they do not know my recovery times. And another neat little thing about hidden body is if someone casts Homing Crystal Soul Mass or some type of tracking spell, I don't know what other kind of tracking spell, but I know who's going to go for that parry there. If somebody ever pulls out a Cestus randomly in a fight, do a jumping attack, because especially if they're low, because people tend to parry when they're low. But any type of tracking spell or whatever there might be will not lock on to you or shoot out at you if you use hidden body, which is really cool. I learned that in Invasion when I used a Homing Crystal Soul Mass in my home, and it wouldn't home in on the person using hidden body. So that's one of the reasons why I thought I'd try it out. But another good thing is about this. Oh wait, actually, before I talk about that, I think this is the guy who straight up kind of just called me out on all my crap because I did not know that these were considered buffs. These are considered buffs. So if somebody throws a dual charm out at you, you will lose all your status effects. You know, he kind of called me out on my shit there, so I kind of gave him a shield pump like, whoa. You got me. But so make sure you juke those dual charms. And he just doesn't want to deal with my invisible stuff right now, so he'll just keep chucking them. I'm doing a very bad job of dodging them because I'm kind of just flustered at the fact that he did that, because I did not realize. I kind of realized that hidden weapon was a buff because I tried to first infuse this Uchigatana with, jeez, that was some huge phantom range right there, but I was bad on my roll timing, so I got punished. But I tried to infuse the Uchigatana with crystal at first, but you can't infuse crystal and lightning weapons, but you can infuse refined and heavy weapons for some odd reason. I don't really understand that, especially with split damage being so bad in this game. I think that's kind of fucking retarded, but anyway. So I had to go a raw Uchigatana, you know, so the physical damage aspect of this build is not so great, but the fact that you can use hidden weapon and throw a lot of people off with the pair timings, or you know, the timings of trying to punish you for whatever attacks you use, I think it makes up for it. Another thing about this build is people really didn't punish my rolls that great, with me being so transparent and hard to see. It's kind of hard to punish rolls. I don't know if you guys ran into the Karthus Milk Ring, I think it's called, but people kind of just spam that roll attack. Kind of gets hard to see them. It's the same with this spell, Hidden Body. So your rolls, if you start panic rolling, you'll kind of roll for free, because it's really hard to punish rolls that you can't see that well, especially with larger weapons, or you know, weapons that don't have that much reach on them. So your rolls won't go punished very often. Actually, I actually kind of, as you can see, I kind of panic rolled a lot in this video, which I should really stop doing. But and I kind of just do it for free. So if you kind of time your rolls and place yourself in a smart position while somebody's attacking, or you know, come up from while they're recovering to punish, it works really well like that. That dude was just doing a bunch of rolling R1s. Like it was the only move on the goddamn sword he was using. So he'll go ahead and get parried for that. But the reason I call it the Crystal Thief is because I use all crystal spells, and I use the Crystal Rapier when either my hidden weapon runs out. I'm kind of in a tough spot, and you need to back somebody off of you. It's really good to, oh, we finally got a parry. But it's really good to, you know, space people off you, whether you could throw spells or recover from whatever you need to do. So that's why I call it the Crystal Thief. And another good little thing you can do with this build is they can't see what's coming out. So you know, they can, but it's really hard to see. So whether you switch from your staff or your buckler or whatever you need to switch to, people really can't see what's going on with what you're switching to in your offhand. So if they're going for kind of easily parryable attacks because they think you have your staff out, because it's really hard to see if you do or do not, you can get a lot of free parries off of that. And I tend to get a lot of free parries because I realize people doing just easily parryable attacks because they didn't know whether I have my staff out or my shield out, because it is very difficult to see. Even for myself, sometimes I get confused. But the reason I have all crystal spells is because when you're invisible, the thing you see at the top coming out of your staff is the crystal kind of ball in the middle of the staff. So, and they all have about the same casting speed. So people get mixed up all the time. I hit the Crystal Soul Spear and the White Dragon Breath. I mostly hit the White Dragon Breath because of people panic rolling into it, and I just predicted where they roll. But so I've hit the Crystal Soul Spear a lot of times by turning my back to somebody, and they're thinking I'm casting the Homing Crystal Soul Mass when really I'm casting the Crystal Soul Spear, and it hits for a lot. It's pretty good damage. It'll definitely turn the tide in your favor in some instances. But the Crystal Thief overall is a fun build. I actually love using it. I use it a lot. I still use it, but I just need to find a better way to get damage out of a hidden weapon, because you know, this raw Uchigatana is not that great in the damage section. But it's just really difficult because I cannot buff, even though hidden weapon I don't think is really a buff. See, I tried to circle around for the backstab there, but kind of fucked up, so I just R1 him. But I can't infuse crystal weapons, so I'm gonna have to try to find something different that I can do. And I also wanted to add in Chameleon to kind of give into the thief effect, you know, the thief and the trickery effect, so I can try to add some mix-ups with Chameleon. But I never really worked around with Chameleon before, so I didn't want to add it into the video until I got a decent amount of play with it. But I've been having a great time with this Crystal Thief build, and if you're a mage, you should definitely try it out, because this is just my standard mage build. But I just add different spells and different weapons, and to see how I can mix things up and use things differently. And it was definitely fun, and it's pretty viable for you know, the gimmicky spells that I use. Is pretty fun. But the hidden body is kind of hard to cast if you run out of it, because the time that it stays on is not that long. I actually thought he died right there, so I went to roll away to the stairs, but I forgot that he had tears, and it's actually gonna get me pretty fucked up. But so, you know, the hidden body doesn't stay on long. That's why I use the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring. But once it runs out, and to the fact that you want to go invis again, because you know it is a good little tactic to use in 1v1s, it's kind of hard to cast. But once you cast it, the recovery is very good. But the start up of the initial spell is kind of hard, so you're gonna have to get some spacing in. Or either with your spells, and you know, just kind of make a panic roll, and then you go into the hidden body casting, or do whatever you need to do to space them out. But make sure you do get a good amount of space in before you start casting that hidden body, because it will get you punished in a lot of occasions. Like I was saying before, I do want to add Chameleon into this, so I can see how to so I can see how to you know, add some more trickery into this build, because I think the little mix-ups and things you can do with this hidden weapon and hidden body thing is actually pretty good. I think it throws a lot of people off, and they don't really know what's going on half the time, because you're so hard to see and your weapon is literally invisible, so they cannot see it at all. So the attacks you can do and the mix-ups you can do, either on which way you're facing, or whether you're gonna parry or shoot a spell, it's pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the build, so I might be uploading more videos with this build. But overall, it's a very fun build, pretty viable with the amount of mix-ups you can do. The physical damage, though, I really need to find a way to fix this and still have hidden weapon to the build. But overall, I love it. It was tons of fun. I had lots of fun dueling with it. Watch out for those dual charms though, because they will get rid of your status effects. But I'll let you guys watch the rest of this video. That's all I got for you guys this time. Till the next video, guys.